Zack Snyder weighed in recently on the state of Star Wars. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. Justice League director Zack Snyder recently did a live stream with the Film Junkie YouTube channel, where he not only talked about the upcoming HBO Max film, but he also made some comments about Star Wars. Snyder was asked, if you were ever approached to do Star Wars, is there a certain story that you had in mind in your head, kind of like, I want to do that in the Star Wars world? Snyder answered, I've probably gone over this a little bit in the past. I am a huge Star Wars fan. The reason why I started making movies when I was 11 years old is because of Star Wars. For sure, it has been a huge influence on me and really got me into this mythic past sort of Joseph Campbellian take on archetypes and storytelling. Star Wars is that to me. I have interest in Star Wars. I don't think I have a story right now. Snyder then stated, I don't know how I would fit into the Star Wars universe anymore. I don't know what it is. It's a thing I love, but I don't know if maybe it's moved on from me. I still love it, and I have lightsabers everywhere around the house. Do those sentiments sound familiar? Yet another heartbroken Star Wars fan having to sit back and watch the franchise burn down. So yeah, good on him. I'm sure there would be interest in him. He's a hot commodity right now, but not to the joy of Hollywood. So I'm kind of wondering, it would make sense to want to make a deal with him to get him to look. Man, it would have been really cool to see him take on Star Wars. But at the state that it's in, look what they just did with what Jon Favreau built for them. You know, all that good feeling and stuff that he achieved, and with Luke Skywalker coming back and all that stuff, gone within a week. So why do that? And I mean, there's a lot of anger towards Favreau right now that he's not standing up. And it's a good point. Good point to make. You would think he would have more spine in this. The man's a millionaire. He can walk away. It could be a combination of things. There's a lot of employees involved. You could ruin careers, but it's kind of already done. The audience is very angry with what happened here, and it's always going to have the stench of what they did to Gina Carano in this method, and so you can't go back. You know, and Snyder's just being very nice here and talking about, yeah, you know, obviously he would have loved to have done it. He would have been like Favreau. The same thing. You love Star Wars and you would love to contribute to it and have an opportunity to work with those characters in that world. But it's gone, and you know the people that are in charge of it won't let it happen. And God knows how many hoops and filters you got to go through to try to get your script to fruition in the cult-like atmosphere that Hollywood exists in now. So it's like, why would they all do this? Well, in the Hollywood Reporter chimed in on this Gina Carano situation, and there was an interesting admission here about what the rules are. Now, a good chunk of the article was once again defamatory to Miss Carano. None of her posts were worth any of this outrage, or certainly not being fired, especially when you consider the posts that other employees of Star Wars have done, some blatantly racist. And in the comparable situation for Carano in making the point about the dangers of demonizing a populace for political reasons, that was the point she was making. Perhaps it didn't get through. I thought it was pretty obvious, but in some cases you got to spoon feed people. But that's what she did. Pascal did a similar thing in which he made a comparison utilizing the events of Nazi Germany and the Holocaust and what have you. But he did it towards the right. She, in a lot of ways, she didn't even, everybody's, oh, you mean Republicans, right? Well, why did you think that? Because you know the right is the one being hit by cancel culture and all that, and demonized. So you just did, basically all of this proved her point correct. Whereas Pascal did this. But if the problem was just using that analogy, then Pascal himself would have to be fired. And of course, some rumors have it maybe he's kind of halfway there anyway, because he's moved to HBO Max for Last of Us. So but that's another story. But anyway, yes, the article was defamatory and a bit with their little tee-hee cartoon they had of her being booted out by Baby Yoda and all that. But nevertheless, there's still some interesting factual data that bleeds through. And there was this little snippet here where a PR rep, Judah Engelmeyer or Meyer, said something, just laid it out as it is. It says, I don't know what people at Disney personally believe or don't believe with regard to politics, but as a corporate entity, they want to stay as trouble-free as possible. Doing a terrible job at that. And anything that's going to offend the left is a problem, says Crisis PR rep Judah Engelmeyer. I have clients who are making an extraordinary effort to post what the social left wants to see. And there you have it. Those are the rules. And you'd better obey. Gina Carano got in trouble not because of what she posted, not because of what she said, but for what she didn't say. And they went after her, demanding that she put her pronouns in her bio. Now, why they singled her out for this initially, I'm not entirely clear, but they did. And then I guess their best bet would have been to do nothing, but I don't think that ends it. But, and she joked about it. She did her beep, bop, boop thing. And, there's no sense of humor on the left, certainly not the Twitterverse left. And so this constant element of fear is where they want it, to where everybody is terrified of the other. And that's how you operate. You can't operate under that system. So, why would Zack Snyder want to jump into this? And after what he just went through for his Snyder Cut? And the only thing that got that was the fandom response. So what's the fandom response to Gina Carano? It's not what Star Wars or Disney or Lucasfilm wants to see. They were hoping this would already be over by now. No, it's going to sit there the joke is a little rat turd falls into the pot of soup. Well, just kind of move the spoon around it. No, you got to throw the whole thing out. You're going to notice it. And so whatever Mandalorian, whatever form or fashion it is by the time season 3 comes out, it's not going to go well. It's going to be there because it's not just the absence of Gina Carano. It's the reasons why and what happened there and all of that. And you can't function like that. And this is a great business model. It's not, but it's all about this bizarre sort of religious attachment to don't piss off the left. You can piss off the right, it doesn't matter. Left, and that's because they exist within that bubble there, and they can't get out of it. Zack Snyder himself openly endorsed Biden for president, but that doesn't matter. You know who might be next here, because the Twitterverse has been after her already, is of course Rosario Dawson, who is Ahsoka Tano, and she's getting her own series. They don't like her. They've accused her of being transphobic. She isn't, but it doesn't matter. Make the accusation, that's that. They never go, oh, I thought she was, but I was wrong about that. No, that's never going to happen. And right now, it appears that Disney and Lucasfilm are comfortable on their knees before Twitterverse. So, and after what they've wrought with Star Wars, and just devastated with that god-awful sequel trilogy, why would he want to sign up for that? And in this mess that they've built for themselves. I mean, and they managed to recover. They managed to recover through Mandalorian. And within a week, burned it all down. So, supposedly led by a woman who giving a tribute to women in film and technology and whatnot, reads the cue card and says fade in. How does, and she's the one who says, hey, it's not easy to make these Star Wars movies. We don't have like a backlog of comics and novels. It's just clueless. And you can't say anything about that. You're not supposed to say it. So there it is. But if you genuflect to the social left, you're safe for a time. Sooner or later, they get to you, though, because their only passion is to punish people, and they eventually run out. So, seeing all this from the outside, it would take a lot of money to drag Zack Snyder into that. And even if he did, you're gonna. As much as I like the guy, I like a lot of his movies, most of them. And I like his DCEU movies, even though I see them as flawed. I still enjoy them. I don't think they deserve the hatred they got in some aspects, but to see him be shackled down by this crap and ultimately canceled, probably there's a bunch of people. Twitterverse doesn't like him. Especially since the fandom won this. It wasn't him. He was just respecting his fans and appreciating them. He's openly admitted he didn't get this deal. They did. They kept pushing it and pushing it. This is what they wanted. And it worked. And they don't like that. But that's marketplace. That's how that works. And especially with genre entertainment like superheroes and space movies and all that. That's how that applies to. And sooner or later, the money runs out. And right now, Disney was on top, managing it, not Netflix level, but they were getting there. They showed signs of this, and Mandalorian did it. And then they slit its throat. It's an astounding thing, and that's the insanity of this. It's like, despite all metrics of reality, they can't escape the rules that they've imposed upon themselves of, you better post what the social left wants to see. Because I bet you can't just, I don't think, a lot of people said Gina shouldn't have been on there. And I mean, maybe that would have helped her better. She had no social media presence. But she likes her fans. She likes interacting with them. But you just can't have nice things, I guess. But had she just not responded to the harassment at all, I don't know that it would have been enough. Because, I mean, it'll be interesting to keep your eyes on Rosario Dawson in that situation and see if that... Because eventually they run out the targets, and they're going to remember, oh, yeah, she's transphobic. And they'll go after her. She's not transphobic. That whole case was bogus and frivolous and dropped. So, but doesn't matter. The accusation has been made, and they enjoy punishing people. And they probably hung over from what they see as this great victory of getting Gina Carano fired. So they're going to want to do that again. So yeah, I think Rosario might be the next target. As for Zack Snyder, his Snyder Cut, something's going on there. And there's that whole maze of stuff. HBO Max and Warner right now, paying attention to what Disney's doing to itself and doing the opposite. You really should dive deep into this. If, for God's sakes, whatever it takes to get Ben Affleck to do a Batman series for HBO Max, preferably with Snyder's involvement as an executive producer, and those two working on that, and Affleck, starring and directing it. Holy crap! That would blow Mandalorian out 100-fold, and HBO Max would probably hit 100 million subscribers with that. And even as simple as like Mandalorian was presented, where you got maybe 8 episodes a season, and they're 30 minutes long. It doesn't matter. It would work, and people love Batman. And my God, if you can get some more scenes like that warehouse rescue and Batman versus Superman of Ben Affleck's Batman, holy shit! It's right there. It's right there in front of you, which tells me it won't happen, because they too are apparently beholden to Twitterverse, which it's suicide. But Because it's the same thing with the kind of, it's so much a microcosm of everything we're going through with the comics, but DC Comics had opportunity after opportunity to overtake Marvel, because Marvel was destroying itself with this very weird cult thing, and they didn't do it. Just by default, everybody was noticing, these are better. The Superman comics were getting really good, and then they threw it away to Bendis, and he destroyed it. So will the daddy company figure this out? They need to, But right now, Netflix, all they got to do is just sit there and do nothing. It doesn't matter, because they just aren't trying. Opportunity after opportunity comes, and they don't do it. So good on Zack. He's absolutely right, and he's better off doing his own projects. And after he's wrapped up his Army of the Dead, which sounds like it'll just be a fun movie, and then he's going to take on King Arthur. And I know that Excalibur is a favorite film of his, and so it'd be fascinating if he can do something like that, because Excalibur is a really cool movie. And so I look forward to seeing what he'll do with King Arthur. I wish I could look forward to see what he would do with Justice League 2 and 3, but in a Batman series and a Man of Steel 2. But I just don't think it's happening. So, but he's one of the good ones. He still has some attachment to common sense. He sure does. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.